So before we, shift to talk about some of the Brighthouse perspectives, from the standpoint of MetLife, the company doing the divesting here, what advice would you have to, somebody who would step into your role, which was the overall separation executive for MetLife?
I would continue to have a guiding principle like we did for the single shareholder. You need that. What's the foundation you go back to make decisions? What's the conceptual framework, if you will, for the accountants that are watching this. But what's the basis that you're going to use to do that? Have a clear ownership of decisions at whatever level. And like I said, we had a separation group, and then we had executives that were clearly empowered we were empowered to make recommendations to them to get their final consensus, agreement, whatever, with our decisions, and then we would publish it out and go forward. So that was certainly important. I do think having both parties at the table was very helpful.
You spent about a year from the announcement of the deal as the separation executive, and then were asked to pursue an opportunity to join Brighthouse as their COO, which you accepted. As the Brighthouse management team, how prepared did you feel that the company was really separated and ready to run on its own, and what about the process facilitated that?
Yeah, I think we felt good as a Brighthouse management team in having a company. Because of the intertwined nature of the operating environment and the age, really, of some of the systems. When we're talking core legacy systems, we're using technology and programming language that I studied in high school, I think, but we knew that was a long-term process, and we knew we needed to work well with the MetLife management. But Brighthouse was making decisions of its own. We did, sort of because of the regulatory aspect, we did work with the Brighthouse team to have a sort of a market-based transition date, brand name change, product name changes, things like that. So when it would be felt more in the marketplace that would separate, because we could control that. That was all about just how we did processes. And so that allowed the Brighthouse management team to really get their hands around what was happening and own it. And so I think with that process, Brighthouse felt very good. They knew all along we'd be working with these MetLife systems from that standpoint. And then we just worked along with the regulatory aspect to come to things.